Hello and welcome to a new episode of Airport Update here on BongoPlanes, where we are actually closing in on the end of this series, but don't worry, it won't be the last episode in the series. What we will be doing today is mainly focusing on, continue our construction. We will upgrade a few parts so we use more automation. We will continue also with some restaurant and airport lounge building, and then you guys will be key to find out where we go next. As always, before we get too far into today's video, if you should end up enjoying today's episode, then don't forget to leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, you're always welcome to hit subscribe. Now, what you can see here, what we're doing is right now replacing the boarding desks at Terminal 1 at the international part, where we are adding the small boarding desk and then 2 automated desks. That's simply just to improve or basically use more automation, cut down on personnel needs, and of course hopefully also improve the whole procedures over there. Then we have this lovely little building here in the center of our terminal, which we haven't really used much so far. And what we will be doing here is, at least on ground level, we will build a restaurant. I think that could be a lovely little thing. We have also added an elevator so that we can use the floors above for other things. I think that could, for example, on first floor could potentially be some offices, and then at second floor that will be giving access to what will become a kind of visitor terrace, something I've talked about a few times in previous episodes, and I think now I know how I want to do that, but that will be something you can see in a future episode. So back to the restaurant here at hand that we are working on now. Basically we have a fairly simple layout. We have 2 entrances on each side. You can see on the ground we've basically indicated a path between these 2 entrances. We will have seating arrangements all around that. The kitchen, I don't know if it's too big, but we have 4 cooking stations. That should allow us to get a fairly decent contract for this restaurant. We've then separated off a space where we have the refrigerators. I thought that could be a nice little detail. Now, while this is being constructed, we have something we need to do here, and that is this entire square we have here in the middle at the right now, as you can see, it's very dark. That's because at night there is no light up there. So we were using these big light masts to bring some light to this whole landside part of the airport so that it looks nicer at night. So all the way around the terminal following here, we put these lights also over here to the remote parking we have here, or drop-off zones we have. And so that will be an essential part. We've already done that at Terminal 2, and we just needed to add some lights over here as well. The smaller lights I think look nicer, but they just don't bring much light to that, so that's why we use these big masts. Because otherwise I think they would fit very nicely, for example, on the air side, but I kind of like using them on land side as well, just because they just light up much more than the smaller light masts do. Then, as you might have seen in the last few episodes, we have of course started adding airport lounges around the airport, and we will also be doing a little bit of that in today's episode, mainly over here at Terminal 2 at the remote part. And what we want to do here is, this is underground, having a fairly big lounge here. These gates here are serving quite a few stands that we have decided to basically only be operated by EasyJet, and I think that's also why we will make this lounge be an EasyJet lounge. I know that sounds weird. I'm fairly sure that EasyJet doesn't operate any lounges anywhere, but anyway, we have the option here in the game, and why not do that? So, as I say, this will be a lounge for EasyJet. We will have this lovely little entrance areas with the EasyJet mat, so that everyone knows this is an EasyJet lounge. We will actually have information desks on both sides. Kind of like that. We have seen, I don't know if you've ever been to the loft at Brussels Airport, the Brussels Airlines Lounge. You obviously have a front desk, but then on the other side they at least used to also have a desk there, although it was pretty much never manned, but in theory they would have had an information desk inside as well, and that's basically a little bit what we're doing here. I think they have converted it at Brussels to being a chocolate bar or something like that. It's a chocolate bar? Is it a bar where they make chocolates. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We have these 2 information desks. We will of course as well have bathrooms again that then are only for male and female, and of course only for the passengers that are going into the lounge. So that should be nice as well. We obviously have the public bathrooms here as well, but this is a nice little feature to have inside the lounge. Then again, we will have obviously some seating arrangements. We will have the buffet tables, a little bit of decoration as well at the entrance, few statues here of planes. I believe it's an MD-11, could be a DC-10. Funny that the developers decided for that model, but why not? So again here putting some nice floor into this whole room, and then as I said, we will be adding a bit of furniture. So while this is going on, let's quickly talk about the future of the series, because obviously there will be videos with airportceo also in the future here on the channel, but we are coming to the end of this season where we are basically finishing up with this airport. And for that matter, there are actually 2 things that I very much would like to involve you guys in. Firstly, as soon as I finish recording this episode, I will continue working on the airport, building many more lounges and restaurants and so on, but all stuff that we have already seen here in the series, so I don't really see the point in filming that or recording that and showing it in episodes. Frankly, I wouldn't know what to talk about, but I will continue with that off camera so that we have an airport that is pretty close to finished for the next episode. So the first thing I would like you guys to suggest is what airlines should have a lounge at the airport. At the moment we have 2 EasyJet lounges. We have 1 lounge for Azerbaijan, 1 for Norwegian, and 1 for Enter Air. But we will have a few more lounges at the airport, so please feel free to suggest the airlines in the comment section below that you think should have a lounge here at the airport, and then in the next episode we will sign these lounges to the airports, to the airlines that you guys have suggested. I think that could be a nice thing. The other thing is of course looking ahead for the next season of the series. We need to find a location for the next airport. Now we could of course find a location in Europe, but I think that would give us pretty much the same traffic that we have here at the airport, so we could maybe also look to other places in the world, perhaps North America or Asia. So please also do feel free to leave a suggestion as to where the next airport we are building could be placed. It doesn't need to be a real airport, so it doesn't need to be please build JFK. It could just be please build a New York based airport. The main feature is just, or the main thing is just to figure out where in the world we want to place the next airport, so that we can see what traffic we could add to that airport. So if you have any ideas for what airlines should have a lounge here at the airport that we are building right now, and then for the future where we should build the next airport, then write down in the comment section below what you would like to see. Alright, so as we let the game construct the lounge, and you can see we've already started doing something new over here at Terminal 1, and that is basically replacing a lot of check-in desks with the automated baggage drop-offs. We can handle many more passengers with those than with the normal check-in desks. So when you have a lot of traffic coming in, those are a very nice tool, a very nice feature to have. In combination, of course, then also with the automated check-in counters or machines or whatever you want to call them. We also need to place many more trash bins around the terminal to make sure that passengers can get rid of their trash. Right now, at the moment, there aren't any flights coming in, and that's just because well, I've been working on this for a while, so the flight schedule ran out. And anyway, we have had a few issues, obviously, with the update to make it all run smoothly. So I thought it was nicer to just let the schedule run out. Let's fix some of these issues before we get flights in again. But I will do my best to have flights in for the next episode, where the idea is then to basically do a tour around the entire airport and basically saying goodbye to Berlin Tegel then. pretty much also as in real life, as it turns out. Anyway, so we have done this for the east pier of Terminal 1 here, replacing the sporting desks, and we will also be doing quite a substantial part of replacing here at the north pier of Terminal 1, which of course is serving the international part of Terminal 1, or at least the one that serves wide-body aircraft. Because we do also have, of course, one of the remote buildings turned into an international part, although that has given me a huge headache. There are some things over there that I just seem not to be able to fix, but you will hear more about that in the next episode. Anyway, so also here we are replacing quite a few of these check-in counters with the baggage the automated baggage drop-off counters, and the check-in counters, the automated check-in counters, gives us a lot of more capacity over here. Then over at Terminal 2 we will also be doing some of that. And over here I was thinking long and hard about what parts I would like to replace with automated systems. In the end I decided to go for the check-in counters that we have here right at the entrance to Terminal 2. And I think that's mainly because we basically don't have much space around here, so it's very cramped. And these automated systems do save a bit of space. And what we will also be doing, as soon as I remove these here again, because we don't need as many of them as we have, we don't need as many of them, and they take up less space. So we have some space up left here, which we then will turn into a little franchise room. So still a bit cramped after all, but yeah, just a little bit different layout. Instead of having the check-in counters there, we have the automated baggage drop-off points, and then we will have a little space left for a little shop, which will be added revenue for the airport, which is great. The automated check-in counters we already placed down last time, and it's actually funny because when I wanted to do it for this recording over at Terminal 1, it said that I had to have the baggage drop-off points nearby, but we didn't have them here at Terminal 2 when I placed them down, so I don't know if they've maybe patched a little thing or something. It doesn't matter. We already have them over here, the automated check-in counters. Now we also have the automated baggage drop-off points. What a mouthful to say. And we have another little shop here at Terminal 2. So guys, today's episode, will be a little bit shorter. I do apologize for that, but I will continue now as soon as I finish up this recording to work on the airport off camera and hopefully have it finished for next time. And then we will have a grand tour around the airport, a big farewell. Obviously we'll be adding all the airport lounges that you are suggesting now, or for the airlines that you are suggesting now, and then hopefully you guys will have suggested loads of locations where the next airport could be, and if so, I might be able already to pick one so I can announce it for the next episode. Otherwise it will be a surprise. Anyway, with that I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit shorter, and we haven't really done much new here for the moment, but I hope you have enjoyed it nonetheless. If you have so, then don't forget to leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? With that I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.